We're back.
Alicia.
Liaza.
Lee and Lee. We call each other Lee.
Lee and Lee. Anyways. So, do you remember that time in science class when I tried to light my farts on fire and I used the burger? I said no.
That was a different class.
That's actually a line from a story. That's actually a line from a TV show.
Okay.
Anyways, if
'cause
you
I
know
don't
the line,
remember that.
if you know the line from the
I
TV
do think
show,
that my brother
write it
and
in the
his-
comments below. The line goes like this. Do you remember that time in science class when I tried to light my farts on fire with a Bunsen burner and I singed my sack? I still can't grow hair. If you know the movie, put it in the comments below. Anyways, we had a lot of fun when we were kids.
We did have a lot of fun when we were kids.
I sometimes like the fact that I'm not really hyper mature. I don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? It's good to laugh. The Bible says that
I never
laughter
is good like a medicine.
is good like a medicine.
And we need medicine right now.
Yeah, we need lots of medicine. You know, I remember
the Lord's medicine.
when we first met each other. I think it was in 5th grade. 5th and 6th grade. We used to have to take the bus.
We can
home.
look at each other on the thingy, maybe.
We used to take the bus home.
Yes, we did.
I used to have a carpool to school, but
Same.
I'd have to take the bus home. So we would take bus 64 down
64.
Almaden Expressway, and then
Lincoln.
she'd get off to Lincoln, and then Kurtner.
Oh,
It was
Okay.
Kurtner and Lincoln, and then you would get off and you would take bus 26 to Eastridge.
oh my gosh! I can't believe you remember.
And
that
I would
number.
take bus 26 to
Camden.
Los Gatos area.
Okay.
And so we would get out of school and we would be on the 2nd floor at the Coward Community School. And we would look out and we could see the bus way in the background. And I'd go, Alicia, the bus is coming. And we would just dart out. We had to go down
so far,
two
too.
flights of cement stairs.
Cement stairs.
And we would
Across
skip
2 parking lots.
We would skip stairs. By the way, Alicia broke her ankles twice going down those stairs. I never broke my ankle. But anyway, we'd go down these stairs and we would run across 2 parking lots across a main street to catch that bus.
Yes, we would. And if we didn't catch the bus, then we had to wait a long time.
Yeah.
And then
But we would just go to Sputnik's and then get...
Yes, I was
Is
going to
that
say.
what it's called? Sputnik's? And get like a Sputnik. It was like a little treat. And then...
Yeah, but our friend owned the health food store at the...
But even if we were mad at each other, we'd still be like, oh, the bus. And we'd still be running for it. And we'd get on the bus and then we wouldn't talk to each other because we'd be mad at each other for something. And then we'd get off. And it was only when Alicia got off and started going towards her bus stop and I was going to mine that she would turn around and get all like courageous and be like yelling at me across the street. We'd be screaming at each other across the street.
I can't even remember what we would have been. And then we'd get home, and then my mom would call your mom, or your mom would call
your mom would always call my mom and say, the girls aren't talking. We need to get them talking. So
and then we had to apologize.
I'm not talking to her. But then the next day, the bus! And we'd be, anyways, that was fun. But do you remember that time when it would rain? It would rain so hard, and right underneath Almaden Expressway there, it would always pool there, like a big pool of water. And it rained so hard that Calvary let out early.
Oh, I do remember that.
That one
it flooded
day,
that street.
It flooded all of Almaden. It was Hillsdale.
Yes.
And so they're like, hey, we're going to let out early. And we were like, yeah. And I didn't even tell my parents because our parents didn't know. So I went home with you on bus 26.
That's exactly right. You did.
So I was home with Alicia and we were wondering what we could do.
I didn't wonder that. You wondered that.
And I was like, well, we had this place and I don't know if it's still around. It was in San Jose and it was called the Pink Poodle.
Oh my God.
And
only you knew to.
And the Pink Poodle. And it was like
I didn't know about the Pink Poodle. She
it was
knew
like
about
a
the Pink
strip
Poodle with her Harley people.
No, I never been there. I was only a little kid.
But how did you even know it existed?
Because it said Pink Poodle nudity out there. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not that dumb.
So she decided she would call.
So I called, and I was like, I tried to be in a really mature voice, and I was like,
We were like 10.
I was like-
no, we were probably 12.
I was like, hello.
Because I'd moved houses again.
Me and my friend, and I gave us fictitious names, we're only in town for, the weekend, and we wanted to know, or we just moved, I think it was. We just moved to the area, and we were looking for jobs, and the guy's like, oh, okay, well, what are your names? And so I gave them these fictitious names, and then he's like, well, what are your measurements? And I look at Alicia, and I'm like, 42, 24,
really know what a measurement
36. And so, it was like, and then little tiny thing. And the guy was like, okay, can you meet us at 3:00 today? And we're like, sure, we'll be there. And he's like, we'll see. No, because it was me and you.
I know, but you made the appointment.
Yeah. But anyway, so we made the appointment for 3:00 at the Pink Poodle nudity, like, pole. It was like
Stripper.
pole dancing. And then she was like, oh my gosh. We never showed, obviously, but that was kind of...
we're still taking the bus.
Yeah.
It would have taken us forever to get across town. Like, we would even know what to do. Anyways.
Or we would play Charlie's Angels.
Yes, we played Charlie's Angels.
And I always had to be Jacqueline.
At Evergreen.
But she had to be Farrah because she was blonde.
Junior
she was
college.
like, why do I always have to be Farrah? She's the ditzy one.
Hey.
Because you were blonde. But nobody
was
wanted to be Kate Jackson. I wasn't that skinny anyway. So anyway, good times when we were younger.
Times.
Yeah. Isn't it good that God protects us even when we're so young? We're running across streets. We're running across parking lots. We're running after buses. We're calling strange establishments. Anything could have happened back in those days, and God just kept us protected.
He did.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.